Hopefully everybody's doing really well. I want to start off right out of the gate saying congratulations to our office. I don't know how many of us pay attention to the awards and all the stuff that happens when they come out. And yet Real Trends usually puts out some of the most comprehensive awards and some of the most comprehensive statistics for real estate. And so they do a top 100. Top 100. They do a top 500 in brokerages. And so they go through and they rate all the brokerages on a few different things. And so I'm just going to go through here, if you haven't seen it yet, and pop this bad boy up onto the screen. So we are, in case you can see this, we'll go make it all the way big. So of the top 500 brokerages, and that's 89,000 brokerages across the country, Keller Williams, and it says Greater Northwest because that's our former name. They still haven't adjusted that in the national statistics and numbers. 246, number 246 out of 500 of their top 500, but 246 out of 89,000 in the country. So we are like one of the top 3% of all brokerages across the country. And so hopefully you all are clapping for yourselves in the background there, because obviously we can't see each other 100%, and yet want to make sure and send that message out to you guys. You are the ones who are doing this. And that's the biggest thing. We've got to understand that you guys are the reason. The leadership is, yes, doing everything we can to serve your businesses, but gosh, this is a celebration about every single one of our agents in our office, because you guys are the catalyst for every single thing that we do. We are truly better together, and the proof is in seeing results like these come to the table and letting the nation understand and see who we are. So it's just not local dominance, man. This is our ability to give back to the nation, right? We are a national presence. 246 out of 89,000 brokerages nationwide. So awesome. This is 100% your award. Exactly, Karina. This is your award. Here's the deal. There's a lot that can happen momentum-wise out of this that I just want to make sure that we're sharing, because here's my actual favorite pieces that came from that today. I need to go through and look at a different screen real fast. There's my desktop, and I want to start with this one. And that, hopefully you can see, is top 5-year mover. So this is sales volume percentage. And if you look on there, we are number 11 out of all brokerages in the nation. We are we're number 11 in the highest growth percentage increased and closed volume between 2015 and 2019. Again, the largest percentage of increase. We have grown by 352% in those years between 2015 and 2019. Here's why this is significant. When people choose us, this is what they're choosing. Because for us to be able to get an award like this, it is our agents' businesses that are growing. I want to make sure you understand that. For us to get an award like this, it is our agents' businesses that are growing, which means a few things. One, our leadership is truly listening to the needs of our agents to make sure that they can be able to grow their own businesses. And that's proof in our top 20%. Watching our people cap, and they're capping faster, and their businesses are growing faster. Gosh, just two stories that pop into my head right away. Kimberly Morris, who capped in 37 days. Christine Kalmbach, who was able to cap in half of the time that she did her first year. And so just watching people's businesses grow, this is significant, because when people choose us, they're actually choosing a company that helps agents' businesses grow year over year. Second thing, because I said there's a couple things that are involved in that. Second thing is that people are joining us and coming into our world and folding into our world because of our ability to help businesses grow. And so others are seeing and being attracted to that. And that's a really big piece of the puzzle, because it is our moment to look out into the world and to see how many people aren't being taken care of right now, and that they 100% could be when they align with us here at KW Platinum. So again, it shows you off a bit with Keller Williams. That was our former name. Things are still being reported underneath that. And what's really cool is it doesn't stop there, because we are also in the same vein, top 5%, top 5-year movers, largest percent increase in closed transactions. We're also number 11 in that at 272% growth. So when people are choosing us, they are a bajillion percent choosing growth for their own business, because the proof is in those kind of awards. That's the proof in our business, because it's all about you. We aren't actually doing anything to close transactions as leadership. You guys are. And so we're getting behind your businesses and watching them grow bigger, faster, stronger. And so this is my opportunity to say congratulations to every single one of you guys. This is y'all's businesses growing. Who do you know who desires to have this same kind of growth in their own business, that are missing out on wild opportunities to have this kind of success in their life, because they're partnered with a brokerage that doesn't care about growth, that doesn't care about relationships, that doesn't care about better together, that are just giving people tasks to perform, because we're elevating people into a lifestyle. They get to have their life by design. And so I'm not going to stand on the soapbox too long, especially with you guys, because y'all are living it and living proof. But I want you to know, man, you can take those two graphics, grab them, toss them out into the world, because the people who are looking at us are curious. And so this is just proof in what's happening. And I'm going to give you a quick story. I know somebody who has been recruited or attempted to be recruited from our office. And what's really funny is that the individual who was working on recruiting was like, what do you really think that that guy can do for you to help you grow your business? And I love it. I love people who look at me like that. Of course, it's their prerogative to have that kind of interpretation. But my standpoint is like, well, first of all, you missed the point. It has nothing to do with me. It's about our team. And so you're trying to put it on me, and it's not on me. It's on our team. So my 5 years of experience pales into comparison with Ann's 40 years, Karina's. I won't give away anything there because she's only 19 years old, still doing the business. David's 125 years, just giving David a hard time. But looking at the combined experience of what we have and our desire to serve agents, that's a moot point to ever look at me and to call me anything, because I am just a piece to the puzzle. Our leadership is a bigger piece to the puzzle. Our ALC are bigger pieces to the puzzle. The community body of our agents is a bigger piece to the puzzle. And so my kudos goes 100% back to every single one of us. We are all in it together. It isn't just one of us. We are truly better together. And so I just want to tell you that, see that, understand that. And for anybody who would ever look at us and say, what do you think they can do? Realtor just proved what we could do at a really high level. So let's get into today, if that's all right. I wanted to share that. I want you to have that. I'm going to give that. If you go into our forum, you can go and download those things. I shared a post this morning that you're welcome to grab and share as well. But it's really awesome to look at and to understand that we're one individual office and the impact that we can make doing what we do together. So I want to talk about one thing very specifically today that I think would be really, really important. It's super important for us to be able to start aligning with. And so if you looked into what our topic today is, today is going to be talking about mission, okay? It is going to be in the missional vein for what we're doing, because when I look at mission, to me, mission is what gives us movement. And I want to talk about mission today. And I know many of you have been a part of my mission, vision, values class, but I want to talk about mission a little bit differently, right? And here's the reason why. We are currently in a whole new world. We're like the Little Mermaid, man. We're in a whole new world. Oh, wait, no, that's Aladdin. Aladdin's in the whole new world. Little Mermaid wants to be part of your world. Get my Disney mixed up, quarantine. When I look at mission is truly, 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 truly about movement. And so if our mission is about movement, and right now we're talking a lot about moving forward, doing everything we can to be able to move the needle forward, then we should be digging into and understanding and attaching back to our mission. Right now is a time that we do this evaluation of where my mission is, okay? So we're not going to dig into the value, vision, value, mission, vision, value. We're just going to be talking about mission for a little bit today, if that's okay. Mission is our ability to move forward. If it is movement, then it is our ability to attach every single day back to this, to put it in our forefront, and to be able to continue to move in this direction. Now, here's what I love about having clarity around my mission, vision, value. When my clarity is just crystal clear, then I have what we're talking about right now, the ability to pivot. Like, we've been talking a lot about this word, and you've seen it a lot. It's happening a lot. Bold is calling themselves bold, pivot. You've seen some stuff about shift, pivot. You've been seeing market, pivot, mindset, pivot. So we keep talking about this word pivot, right? And so if we're going to have the conversation about this idea of pivot, having clarity on this moment, having clarity around our mission truly gives us the ability to pivot. We can go in any direction we need to because of clarity. And here's the reason why. If my mission says that I'm going to be X, Y, and Z, and I know for a fact the tasks that will get me to X, Y, and Z, the truth in this moment is this is the most important thing. As the world starts to cut out my ability to do some of these things, all right, so some of the activities or the strategies to get me towards what my mission is, I can immediately start choosing something different, or I can create a whole new idea or ideal to start doing what it is that I need to do to make sure that this is still coming to fruition, okay? And so we're going to talk about how we make sure that we get clarity around our mission and utilizing that mission to make sure that right now I can create the pivoting moments for my business within strategy. I can make the pivoting moments within my business in strategy when I have clarity around what the whole mission was from the get-go. I hope this has been a little bit eye-opening for some of us to know that, like, if I am stunted right now on what I should be doing or where I should be going, I can immediately start creating action once I find clarity here and begin to see where my strategies are here, so that pivot can be a reality instead of just a buzzword right now. Pivot should be a reality instead of just a buzzword. I know how to take my business in the direction of my mission. I know how to keep moving in that direction if I have clarity. I want to go into, and I want to share, something with you guys. And many of you have seen this before, but I think it's really prevalent right now. And I want to open up, the very first thing is to have a conversation about something around what Simon Sinek says, starting with why. I want to have a conversation around that. So many of us have seen this video. I want you to open your eyes and I want you to watch this video. However, if you've seen it before, I want you to watch it now as if you've never seen it before, and how it applies to what's happening right now today. How can it apply to what's happening right now today, so that then when I think about pivot, we can move in those directions easily, okay? So I'm gonna start the slideshow, and then I'm gonna start this video, and we're gonna have a conversation about starting with why in our very first piece to unveiling our puzzle to clarity.
Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do, 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean, what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care? Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside. It's obvious. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example. I use Apple because they're easy to understand and everybody gets it. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Meh. And that's how most of us communicate. That's how most marketing is done. That's how most sales is done. And that's how most of us communicate interpersonally. We say what we do. We say how we're different or how we better, and we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, a vote, something like that. Here's our new law firm. We have the best lawyers with the biggest clients. We have, we always perform for our clients, do business with us. Here's our new car. It gets great gas mileage. It has, leather seats. Buy our car. But it's uninspiring. Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? You ready to buy a computer from me? All I did was reverse the order of the information. What it proves to us is that people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it.
I love that video. If you've seen it for the very first time, I hope that it has inspired you to think a little bit differently about your business. For those of us who have seen it maybe for the 3rd or 4th or 15th time, I hope you're really thinking about now, like, how does it actually make a difference to what I'm doing right now? Because it should inspire us to be called into something a little bit more intentional. By why we do it. So if I look at this from a standpoint of a leader, and I'm speaking out to a crowd, right, of folks who may be in various stages of how do I apply something like this into my life, it is difficult for some of us to start with the why moment. In Keller Williams, we're very good about having this concept about our big why. So before we jump into defining our why we do what we do, I want to make sure and draw a little bit of a differentiation between the big why, right? So our big why and what Simon Sinek is talking about, which is starting with why, okay? And here's the biggest difference. If I look at my big why, and let's say it's my family, okay? So my family is the reason why I am doing this. I want to be able to have anything and everything at my family's footsteps. I want them to be able to have that. If that is my goal, that's fine. But that's more of what I would call my driving force, okay? It is my driving force to move me forward in the business, regardless of what my activity is, regardless of my product, regardless of what it is that I'm doing. I could be in real estate. I could be in car sales. I could be a baker. I could be anything. But my driving force behind why I do what I do, my big why, is going to be different than when I start with why. In the same sense, if I look at Apple as a company, like he was saying, and that innovation kind of thought process and that feeling, that is true. That is why they do what they do. But I doubt that for the people who are in the business, that would be their driving force for every day, why they wake up to do what they do, okay? So starting with why in my business tends to be along the lines of, and I'm going to go back to my slideshow real fast. I want to show you a quick idea about kind of how to formulate this idea of mission. So we're going to go jump into this slide real fast, okay? So when I look at our world, when I think about why, a why tends to be that cause, that passion, or that purpose. And so if I'm going to go back here and I think about why I do what I do, this is more than likely going to be a cause, a passion, or a purpose. This big why is my driving force behind everything. Adam, the safety, my family, those are big whys. To help to affect the change of better together is my why. I just happen to do that through real estate, okay? I hope you're drawing those differentiation. If you're having challenges with that, by all means, send me a message, text me. We can open this up a little bit more. But for sake of doing this in a little bit of a virtual space, I just want to make sure that I can draw a little bit of a line between those two things, okay? Now, here's the deal that I want to go into. When you start with why, all of us need to have some clarity around this because, like, We really need to make sure that every single day we can make decisions that aren't abstract and or just creative and or just task oriented, but we're making decisions that are moving the needle forward. We need to make decisions that are taking our business in a direction. Okay? So when we have clarity around these things, when we have our goals, when we have mission, vision, values, when we have our daily 411, when we have all those things lined up, we every single day moving very purposeful in the direction of the life that we desire, instead of just executing what's going to happen today to make sure that today I survive. It's beyond survival mode. This is all future tense conversations that we're having, okay? If I asked you to start with why, most people find it difficult to start formulating that why plan, okay? And that's okay, because we don't think this way. This is a practicing thing. Actually, I want to take a quick pause. I would like for anybody right now who wants to do this with me, I am about to start digging back into the start with why. Allison over at Movement Mortgage shared a video with me. Simon Sinek is about to do a re-edit or relaunch, a 10-year launch or relaunch or whatever of the book Start With Why. It's already 10 years old. So he's going to go through and revamp the content and release a 10-year edition. So he's asking the community of people who love and believe in this thing to start reading the book again. And he's got a live YouTube that he's going to answer questions on. So he's encouraged people to start a book club. And so I don't know if I'm going to go participate necessarily in the YouTube, but I'm like, you know what? This is actually a really great time to reread that book. I'm going to start a book club specifically on the Start With Why book. If you are with me and you want to, let's jump into it. Make sure you put your email into the chat, and I'll have Crystal make a collection of that. And we'll start a book club around the ideas behind starting with why, okay? So the book is a great book, and it's a great time to dig back into it. And the point being, it is a revolutionary thought to some of us, because we take ideas from the easiest thing, right? The what, the how, and the why. It's easy for us to come up with what I do. A lot of us, the easiest way for us to start thinking in the why is to take steps towards our why. Because what we end up doing is just these two things. A majority of the time, we're doing this. We're going, what I do is I sell real estate. How I do it is by being excellent service and advocating for buyers and sellers. But we never actually address the why. And so today, all I'm asking us to do in this space is to begin to address the why. Okay, I want to make sure that we're doing simple activities. I don't want to over process. I don't want to inundate us with more things to do. But I do think a simple thing we can do right here, right now, is start to explore the why. So if I sell real estate and I do it through an excellent service, really, my big why is I want to see people gain home ownership. I'm going to tell you right now, that's just shooting from the hip. And if I was really to examine this statement, I bet this still isn't even hitting the nail on the head. And then I do one more lap around this. It's like, well, actually, what I say when I say that I want people to gain home ownership, what I really want them to do is, when I bought my house, I felt released to have some sort of significance in wealth building in my life. Like, well, that's a whole different story. If that's what you mean by this, then you're actually digging a little bit further into your why. My why then from this, if I do one more lap around that thought process, my why is actually to help people gain wealth. Why my business exists is to help people gain wealth. And the way we do that is to help people with home ownership. That's, to me, one of the things that we have to be able to start practicing. All of us, every single one of us on this call, can start digging into the what and the how. It's the practice in the why. And the way you practice your why is to get something down. I was literally shooting from the hip, just thinking about general real estate, and came up with the idea of seeing people gain home ownership. Well, I look at it as like gaining wealth. If I started doing my laps around this. I don't mind. I'm going to share with you my story. Why real estate really is so important to me and why I loved helping people purchase real estate. Every home I ever lived in growing up was rented. I'd never lived in a home that was owned by my family. The very first home that I lived in that was owned was a house that I bought when Ellen and I got married. And what was really neat about that, and this sounds really crazy, but what was really neat about that is that it was all brick. I remember buying this all brick home, and it had a huge yard. And at the end of the day, it was mine. Like I had something. I had significance in this world. And that feeling of being able to have something that made me feel significant is the reason why it was so easy for me to go show any and everybody 5, 10, 12, at one point 20 homes in any single day to help them move 1 inch closer to feeling the same significance in life that I did by buying a house. So why I did what I did was because I had the ability to help people feel significant in this world. I just happened to do that through helping them purchase a home. When we start to practice the idea of why we do what we do, I bet you're going to dig into things so intently that it will reframe the way you show everything you do. When you show up to be able to be with your clients and you start with why, you're going to look at them different. When you're frustrated or tired and you start with why, you're going to do things differently. When I get up to pick up the phone and I'm just an ISA making another phone call, when you realize the connection of what you're able to do, you're going to show up differently. When we have clarity around our mission, and we start with this why, when we have clarity around that, we get the opportunity to show up with intention in a way that we probably haven't yet done. And it will change everything that we do. And especially right now, if you're looking at what's happening in our business right now, we are in desperate need of real estate agents to show up understanding why they do what they do. It's going to help you tremendously, and especially when we get into the space where the economy is going to dip a little bit. It's just inevitable, guys. I'm not going to be a doom and gloom, but it is just inevitable. And when we realize and see our intentionality about who we are in this why space, I can help somebody who's going into foreclosure, and I don't feel like I'm taking advantage of them because I can be the person that helps them move forward. When I look at an investor and I can help them purchase more wealth, I can do that because I can help them move forward. When we have clarity around our mission, we have movement that's moving us forward. And the really cool thing about it is that it's so intentional when we bring that clarity into our space. So the reason why I look at that, and the reason why I'm calling us today to be able to do that, is a lot of us are going through and going, so what do I do now? Well, what we do now is to have intentionality in our why, to help us move in the direction for what this world needs us, is to be a professional that can advocate for people around the world. It sounds interesting, but what's really neat right now is that I have a dream that I think we can change the world. We're just going to happen to do it through real estate. What's fun is right now in this climate, I'm seeing more real estate agents being influential in people's lives than in almost any other industry, because we're showing up to care for the people who are in our care. You have the opportunity to make that be so, and you have that why. I want to show you guys, for some of you, I'm going to put this screen up and I'm going to leave it up. And so you can take a capture of the screen if you want. But when I look at kind of moving this forward, if you really want to make sure and see how you can create a statement from this to be able to start doing it, you got to practice this, going from the what, the how, and then practicing your why, and rewrite that thing a bajillion times if you need to. But this is the way in which we could create a basic formula for creating our mission statement. We take our why, which is our cause, our passion, our purpose. We toss in one of the connector words: for, through, on, via, with, over, by, because, while. And then when we combine that with the how or the what, that's the skills, the abilities, the activities, the responsibilities. When we have those things kind of meshing up, it really becomes our mission statement that we can slap on our wall and read it every single day. Sweet Green is an example I use by this, and it says their mission is to inspire healthier communities by connecting people to real food. So it's a real simple, to inspire healthier communities. Why? By connecting people to real food. How? Okay. And then the last thing at the bottom of this page, it says when your why is, you get super clarity around that why, it actually can live as a standalone mission statement. You don't need the other elements. IKEA's is to create a better everyday life for the many people. That's a powerful why, and that 100% is who they are. When I look at what we have the opportunity to do now with what we've been gifted, we have the opportunity to share with the world intentionality that they've never seen in their lives, to care more than we've ever cared before, to help in ways that we know that we can help, and to show the world that the trust factor in that is just inevitable, because everything we're doing is based around this why. And then when we wake up and we look at this mission, that mission is going to be creating movement for us every single day to move the needle forward. This is a time for a new normal. Pivot can happen around clarity. And clarity for our mission statement is going to be found in this word right here. Why do you do what you do? People buy why you do what you do, and they're desperate for it right now. So I want to open up, it is 12:43. I want to open up for questions, comments. I know that some of you guys have been in my classes. Some of you guys do these things at a high level. Some of you may have something to interject here that would be great for all of us to hear, all of us to learn. I mean, just in the midst of like starting this, I'm serious about the book club. We'll start with whoever's in this class, whoever wants to jump in. We'll start with rereading, start with why, and we'll just dissect it and see what it has to say. And I think it'd be an awesome thing. So I gave you enough time there to fill in the blank with some random banter. So if anybody wants to add anything, if you want to start a conversation, if you have anything to add, we're welcome to tap it. You're welcome to type it in as well if you'd like. But yeah, I'd love to open up the floor. Anybody who has questions, comments, or anything like that, I'm down for that. So the floor is open, and it will be awkward silence unless anybody wants to talk. Moran, did you have something? I saw you unmute yourself.
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
We're gonna do this. Hold on.
I love
on my studio lights. You can't see me.
Well,
I think is that better?
Well, I mean, the hard thing, if you want me to give you some pointers, that you'll never get the contrast right when you have a big bright. You can't do it when there's a bright light behind you. So your camera will. Yeah. So your light would have to.
Hold on, let me turn around.
There you go.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? I hope
doing great.
I hope everybody's doing well, man. I love your videos, man. You keep them coming. You're putting out some powerful content. I want to thank you. I think that's really great, you know, and keeping it fresh, keeping it live. I think we all need that. So I appreciate you, man.
Oh, well, thanks, Moran. I appreciate that. Like I see you're out there still busy. Y'all stay safe though. I see you guys out there being busy. Stay safe though. Still keep in lines with the way that the CDC is telling us to keep in line with.
Yeah, I did a showing the other day, right around the corner from here, a house I just listed, and it was a little awkward but everyone was cool with it. Everyone's like, you know, hey, let's not shake. Let's just like keep our distance. So I mean, it was a little weird, but everyone knew. And so that was okay. That felt good. And then I used plenty of hand sanitizer. And also I told myself that, hey, if someone's coming to look at a house right now, they're like serious buyers, right?
Serious buyers. Like if anybody's like, I need to see houses, it's like, dude, those are A plus.
Yeah, they're not like, they need a house. So they're not looky-loos, you know? So yeah. That was good. That was reassuring.
Hey, Chad, I saw you on mute. Did you want to add something in with all this?
Well, that just reminded me what Morad just said about being real safe when you're viewing houses. Lucky enough, my wife is a veterinarian, so she's got the nitrate gloves by the cases. So I grabbed a couple of boxes of those, threw them in my truck, and we're looking at houses. I give them to my clients and myself to go in and just make sure we don't infect or get infected. Just
Yeah.
be safe.
You gotta be safe. You definitely gotta be safe. What else, guys? Anything else that you guys want to share? Sorry, am I still sharing my screen?
The liquor store is open.
The liquor store is open, in case you're curious.
I know everyone is wondering, but yeah, it is. So I confirmed that yesterday.
Yeah, I was gonna make a post about didn't your wife confirm that for you? Don't tell me you don't deserve it. Didn't your wife confirm that for you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to make sure. So while we're jumping in here, there is something that I want to make sure you guys are connected to. I'm going on in to type out. Here we go. I'm going to copy and paste a link in here at 3 o'clock, 3:30 to be exact. One of the things that's going to happen is that Cedric and myself, we're going to jump in and have some conversations about what's happening with Bold and Bold Pivot. You guys, this is going to be a really great opportunity for us to find, as things begin to relax, Bold is going to come sweeping in right there towards the end of April, and it's going to be a really intentional moment for all of us to start digging back into our business, because we've got to look at it and we got to segment it not only daily, not only monthly, but we also got to be able to make sure that we're paying attention to how we're going to affect each quarter of our business. And so Bold is coming in at a really great time for us to be able to look into and examine them for the activities we can do that will produce the results, get into some best practices, especially right now. Bold Pivot is going to be awesome. And for all of us to understand, it is going to be at an insanely reduced price, because it is going to be all virtual, yet lacking in nothing. So they've just looked at it as a way, how can they make sure that we are all connected to Bold and the Bold materials virtually. And so you guys, we all need to be in and about Bold. So this Zoom link, right, I posted in there, I'm going to do it again just for poops and giggles. 3:30 today. Make sure you're part of that call. Cedric's going to be leading it and helping us understand a little bit more about what's happening with Bold. If we got nothing else to share, I'm down for that. I want you guys to start practicing. The only thing I want you to start doing from today, you can do more, obviously, but if you're going to do just one thing, start practicing your why, okay? Start practicing your why. You got to start practicing in the why space, okay? Practice the why. Practice the why. And is still going to be doing her class, going to be doing her contracts class. We obviously are going to be continuing to bring in content. A lot of you guys are watching and paying attention to what we're doing. If you're part of KW, if you're part of Keller Williams, they are producing stuff at a, oh my gosh, exponential is the word of the day, an exponential level. There is literally my feed, because I follow KW University in Connect. Every single day, I'm getting 10 to 15 emails from the content and classes that they're bringing to the. If you unmuted yourself to be able to help share a little quick something with us.
Well, I just want to say that yesterday was probably the busiest day that I've had as your broker. And a lot of the times I had to respond with something that a script that I have, and that is the buyer and seller need to contact an attorney. Now, I don't want you to just to remember that script, but when you have a situation, talk to me first before you move forward. But that may be the answer that I'm going to have to give you.
Okay. And I want to expound on that a little bit. We all are in agreement that Ann might be one of the smartest ladies we've ever met as it pertains to just brokerage in general. She understands brokerage, contracts, compliance, gosh, at a really, really, really high level. And so if the person who we consider the smartest person in the room tells us to consult an attorney, that really is the best advice that we can get. She will never put you in harm's way. If she ever suggests that you consult an attorney, it's because that is the thing that we should be doing. It's not a blanket statement to not respond an answer or whatever. Like, if she, being the smartest, most valid resource that we have, tells us to consult an attorney. I'm telling you right now, the best thing that we could do is to consult an attorney. It's not always what we want to hear, but I'm grateful that she tells us exactly what we need to hear versus what we want to hear, so that we can do the best thing for us, the best things for our clients, and maintain a fiduciary responsibility. So I'm just going to open that up even a little bit further, Ann, because like you are truly a godsend to our office for the content that you deliver and helping us to align with how to do things the right way. If you ever tell us to consult an attorney, it's absolutely the thing that we need to be able to do. So
I'm not necessarily telling you to consult an attorney, but I'm quoting the language that's in the contracts. It says to buyers and sellers to consult an attorney. We cannot give legal advice. And with the COVID-19 out there, there's so many different things that we've never had to deal with before. And even to the fact that, you know, which county can we actually go in and do real estate right now? And I can't give you all those answers. The governor said yesterday, as far as our Texas Association of Realtors has tried to get the governor to make us as essential. And yesterday, the governor did not point out the fact that real estate agents would not be essential, but he wants the local judges to make that decision. And thanks to Bob Hale from HAR, he at least made that happen in Harris County with Judge Hidalgo.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, I, again, just want to out loud say thank you, Ann, for, I know you're fielding a lot and there's still a lot of curiosity and still a lot to be left to be learned for all of us. So, all right, guys, if there's anything else, feel free to email any of us. Y'all have an amazing, amazing day. And gosh, just keep it real. If you need anything, reach out. I'm sure you'll be hearing from us anyways. Y'all are amazing. Congratulations again. Top 500, absolutely beautiful, an amazing achievement for all of you. Share it with the world, blast it out to the world, especially to be in the position of growth that we've been in. All of our agent friends who want to see growth, they should come test it. Because we're kind of doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. All right, I'm done. Y'all are awesome. Toodles, magoodles.